Hello, everyone. Happy Thursday. Hey, remember that one time when I talked about self compassion? Yes, so I have more to say. And I came to this because, oh dear. We're on real, everybody. My smoothie is on my lip. Blueberries. Man, they stick everywhere. All right, anyway. Self compassion. So, yesterday I had a conversation with a friend. We speak every few weeks. Kind of depends on when we're both busy. She's in another time zone, so sometimes it just doesn't work. Anyway, we got to catch up yesterday, and this was the first time in a while that we both had like really positive updates. And something that we got to recognize together is that like the spaces that we're in aren't toxic anymore. And at one time, we were both in like really, really toxic situations. And we got to just acknowledge that we don't need to be there anymore. And so for me, it was a while ago that I got out of a lot of toxic situations. And for her, this is like the first time that I've heard her this happy and this excited. And like it was just so cool because she was doing so much better, and I could just hear from like how she talked, how much better she was doing. And I was like, hey, you just need to recognize that like you're no longer in toxic situations. And what's really cool about getting yourself out of a toxic situation is that once you're not there and like you're collectively in all the situations that you're in, none of them are toxic, which can take a lot of work and a lot of time. When you get to that point where nothing is toxic anymore, the next time that something or someone that's toxic comes walking into your life, or that you walk into a toxic situation, you can recognize, ooh, this doesn't feel good. This is toxic. I'm out. And you can set that boundary for yourself. And we also talked yesterday about like, for me, people were always like, boundaries. You need to set boundaries. And I was like, I don't even know what that means. And I could do all the research I wanted on boundaries, but they don't make any sense until you know what you deserve. And once you know what you deserve, it's a lot easier to set boundaries for yourself. It's a lot easier to go, ooh, see, I used to think that I deserved that, but I know now I don't deserve that anymore. And I'm going to say a hard no. I do not deserve to get treated like that, and I'm done. Like, that's not happening to me again. You are not going to speak to me that way again. You maybe spoke to me that way my entire life, but it's done now because now I know what I deserve. And it's not that. And that is such a cool place to be. When you get to a point where you recognize, see, I don't need that anymore. And you can live your best life because now you know what you deserve. So think about it this way. If you have been, I'm going to go there. If you have been obese your whole life, and if you've been surrounded by people who are overweight in whatever capacity your whole life, and someone says, well, why don't you lose some weight? You go, yeah, I'd love to lose some weight, and you just can't do it. What if you've never been able to imagine that for yourself because none of your family, none of your closest people have been there? None of them have been thin. So for you to imagine being thin is a totally foreign concept. That's like looking at some celebrity and going, yeah, I'd love to be in that position. I'd love to be singing on a stage in front of 100,000 people. And I have no idea how to get there because that's not something that anyone close to me has ever done before. So for me, it's all about learning what's possible. Because if I don't think that it's possible to be treated kindly, I'm going to stay in an abusive relationship. And that's obviously not healthy if it's an abusive relationship. And so when someone walks in and goes, see, you don't deserve that. Let me show you how you deserve to be treated. And that treatment is significantly better, you're going to gravitate that direction. Now, caveat, in that situation, sometimes being treated, going from an abusive relationship, like severely abusive relationship, to being treated better is only a couple notches up. That's not what you deserve, but it's better. Now, in other situations, you're in an abusive relationship and someone comes along and is not only better, but it is what you deserve. It is kindness. It is loving. It is beauty in all aspects of life. That's what you deserve. And I think, too, for me, one of the things that I worked on in the last 6 months was I deserve to feel safe. And I'd not felt safe in my body. I deserve to feel safe in my body. Of all the places in the world, I deserve to feel safe in my body. My body and I go everywhere together. I don't know if you and your body go everywhere together, but me and my body, we go everywhere together. Sometimes I wish we didn't, but we do. And I deserve to feel safe in my body. And I've needed to practice saying that out loud. I've needed to repeat over and over, I am safe. I think I've showed you guys on my bedroom wall, it says, I am safe. And it just reminds me that when I'm not feeling good, that I still deserve to be safe in my body. So if someone else infringes on my safety in my body, done, gone. I'm not there anymore. So initially I was dissociating, and I was obviously, physically I was still present, but mentally I was gone. But then it became, I am physically also gone. If someone is causing me to feel unsafe in my body, I'm peacing out, adios later. But here's the thing, is that I want to make sure that you guys understand that it's not just it's not when you think about someone else making someone feel unsafe in their body, you might think about a physical altercation where they're physically doing harm, or they're physically touching people in ways that they don't want to be touched. And I don't even mean that. This is something else that I learned in the last 6 months, is that feeling safe in my body might, feeling unsafe in my body might be caused by someone else's eyes. They don't have to touch me, but if they look at me in a way that is degrading, I no longer feel safe in my body, and that's it. I'm done. And I know now that I don't deserve to stand in that position anymore. So I really have come a long way in learning what I deserve and how to continue to manifest what I deserve in my life. For example, right now, I had other things I was going to do this morning. One of them got canceled. And so this morning I was now, what am I going to do all morning? I am sitting in this rocking chair, and I have a massage pad on my back, so my voice is really funny. That's why. It's a heating pad and a massager, and I deserve to sit in this chair with this heater and massager on my back. And honestly, the heat is doing even more than the massage is, because I drank an ice cold smoothie and I was so cold. So I was you know what I deserve right now? I deserve to feel warm. I deserve to feel safe in my body, and that means I need to feel warm. So I went and I found my heating pad, which I haven't used this in a long time. But this was the answer to my what do I deserve today? This is it. And so I want you guys to really think about, what do you deserve, and in what areas are you not receiving that? Whether by yourself, by your own hand, or someone else's, and then what can you do to change that? And one more thing I want you to think about, maybe even before you think about what I just said, if you don't know what you deserve, or if you think you deserve something like punishment, no, you don't. No, you don't. You deserve all of the life, all of the love, all of the joy that's possible. And those things are possible for you, right here, right now. So maybe you have to start with something small, just imagining for yourself, what could that look like? Whatever it is that you feel like you've always wanted. So like back to that example where like if you're really overweight and you've always been overweight, what could it look like or feel like to think about being not overweight, being a healthy weight? And imagine that. And it might be really hard, but start somewhere. Start with imagining, what would it be like? Like, let's say you have to lose 50 pounds to be a healthy weight. What would it look like or feel like to think about, not to actively do, to think about losing 5 pounds? What could that look like for you? How would that make you feel? What would that manifest in your life? What do you think that the possibilities there are? And if you don't know, that's okay. And it can be something that you just think about every so often, and not in a shaming way. You don't get to shame yourself in this, because this is about what you deserve, and it's loving, and you don't deserve shame, and you don't deserve guilt. You deserve all of the love, all of it, all of the love to yourself, from those around you. And if you're not receiving that love from those around you, you need to find new friends, because the people that you spend time with are very influential in how you think about yourself and about others and about the world around you. And if you want to think in a more positive, healthy, loving way, you need people around you who think that way. And I encourage you to go find those people, and it's going to be hard work. It just is. And you can do it, because you deserve it. You can do it. I think we'll keep talking about this as we move forward in future weeks. But in the meantime, go find what you deserve and make that manifest for your life. Small, small ways. Maybe that's committing to yourself to drink a glass of water every day. I highly recommend a glass of lemon water as soon as you wake up. All right, you guys, we'll see you next week.